Okay, so I got my colors together. This is what they look like. Yeah, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna have some fun. For a second, I didn't want to make this video because I didn't know, because I don't know how to paint without music. That's so weird. And then I thought, that's such a clean line. And then I thought, I have headphones for a reason, the fuck. So I will just do that. What I like to listen to when I paint either is like hardcore rap Megan Thee Stallion shaking my ass, or sounds of nature, meditating music. Because when you want to get in the zone, you want to get in the zone, you know? If you want to shake your ass, you want to shake your ass. There's multiple, no definition or label can define you. You can listen to whatever music you want. There doesn't have to be one set of genre. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Anyways, let me tell you a story about how one time I was stuck in a really sticky situation. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to move forward. I watch a lot of like psychology, philosophy videos, and I committed myself to learning more about the past habits that I was stuck in. So yes, I started watching a lot of philosophy, psychology videos. So, because you know, there's a lot of good educational videos out there. This lady, she is a psychologist, but she's also very spiritual, which is me as fuck. Let me just say that. That's awesome. She was talking about how she was also stuck in a abusive narcissistic relationship. She asked the universe to show her a sign. Like, if you show me a fox, then I know that it is time to go. You know, no ask is ever too big for the universe, so they showed her exactly what she wanted. They showed her a fox if she was in an abusive relationship. She saw that. But you know how we are. You know, usually we ask for help, us meaning humans. Usually we ask for help, but we usually do whatever the fuck we want anyways. And she was just like, nah, it's okay. And then she got stuck in that relationship for like 2 more years because she didn't take that one sign. When she searched up like the symbolism of a fox and everything, it said that fox are like, you know, sly, sneaky, they're smart. And at the time, she didn't have a reason not to trust him. But turns out later, you know, when they break up, she didn't know that she was stuck in a narcissistic abusive relationship, but he was cheating on her. That's crazy. And she was just like, only if I took the sign from the universe, then I could have avoided that, you know? So I decided to do the same thing. I was trying to ask what I should do. If I should go back into this relationship that wasn't the best, it was toxic, we both were not healthy for each other, or if I should be single, which is something I haven't done ever. I've never let myself be single, not on purpose, just like, you know, I was young. I didn't know how to deal with the pain. I didn't know how to deal with heartbreak. So it was like I was single for, let's say, a month max. And then I would get back into another relationship. This was the point where I knew that I needed to move forward. I'm moving on to a different color, by the way. I'm just gonna keep going around the circle. But I knew that I needed to change. I knew that something needed to change, something needed to happen. So even though I knew it, it was still hard for me to change. And I asked the universe if I am on the right path. And whatever I was thinking the right path would be was to be single. If I'm supposed to be single, if I'm supposed to leave so-and-so, let me know. Show me the sign of a frog. And I swear I'm a powerful manifester or the universe is always listening, you know? The universe is always listening to whatever's going on, even if you don't feel like it. And that night, I downloaded TikTok. I have a very weird relationship with TikTok because I get so addicted and I hate it because I'm addicted, but then I can't stay away. So I never stay away for too long. Yes, downloaded TikTok that night. And I was scrolling through because, you know, I just couldn't go to sleep. I was staying up. I was watching a TikTok, and if I can find it, which I'm pretty sure I can, I'm gonna insert it right here.
At the edge of a universe, humming a tune, for merely dreaming we were snow.
So I saw that, not even thinking about it. I didn't even question it. I was just like, oh shoot, that's cool. It's a monk. That's dope. And I kept scrolling through. Later on, I see the same style. Like, I follow a lot of animation TikToks, dance TikToks, and art TikToks, anything like that. And it showed up again. I was like, oh, this is a cool art style. Maybe I should check her out, because she showed up twice now.
You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down.
And then when I looked at her page, guess what? I'm gonna show you the picture right here. Bro, her page is all about frogs. And I was like, oh, that's a frog. And then when I saw it, I was like, nah. Denying the sign from the universe. But the universe was literally like, no. You asked and we're gonna show you. You don't believe that? We're gonna show you again. So I decided to try things again in this relationship, right? And I guess 2 weeks after that, thank God it wasn't 2 years, but 2 weeks later after that, yes, basically I got bamboozled and I was dirty. There was some sneaky stuff going on, and after that, I had to leave. At that point, I was fed up. I couldn't keep up whatever anymore. I think my my higher self kicked in, and higher self is I sometimes I throw around spiritual terms, so I just need to make sure I define it. Your higher self is basically like an extension of yourself, a bigger, your energy outside of this body, outside of this earthly plane, into the 4D, 5D, and everything else. And yeah, so it's basically like the true essence of you. So right now, when you are human, you are a spiritual being, and you are a spiritual being experiencing a human experience. Yeah, that's the best way I can say it. So my higher self kicked in and was just like, nah, we gotta go. If the universe gives you a sign, especially if you ask the universe, if you ask the universe to give you a sign and they give you a sign, they give you the sign that you were actually looking for, don't deny it. Don't waste your time. You might not be able to see what is going on. And at the time when I asked for a sign from the universe for a frog, I didn't know what was going on. And when I saw the story of the lady who is spiritual but also a psychologist, and she was talking about the fox, and she talked about having a narcissistic and abusive, emotionally abusive relationship, and she asked for a sign of a fox. And she asked for the sign of a fox, and then she got it. And she got the message that the person was sneaky and sly. That was no coincidence. All these things that I asked from the universe, all these things that I saw from the universe, it wasn't an accident. And all these coincidences line up, but they're not coincidences. They're signs from the universe. And there are signs out there. And then when you start to look at the universe in that way, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. From that moment on, I decided that the universe will never guide me in the wrong way. And that I think I moved on to a different color, right? So, crap! I don't know. Okay, so, when the universe showed me that sign, and that was proof that I didn't have to see what was going on to understand that it was for the best. And from that moment on, I decided to trust the universe and everything. And I completely submitted and surrendered to the universe and all the signs that they give me. And that is just beautiful to me. That is awesome. That I don't have to see what is going on, but whenever the universe shows me signs, whenever my intuition speaks, I just trust it. I never doubt it. After that experience, I've never doubted the universe after that. I'll move on to the next color. I don't know what this color is. I want to say it's black, but look at every other color. It looks black. Okay. Let's talk about my relationship with narcissistic and abusive relationships. Okay. So, a little backstory. Oh, this is kind of like a podcast. Thank you. Okay. So, when I was younger, I did not live in a very emotionally rich environment, right? My parents being immigrants, they worked all the time, so they couldn't really take care of us emotionally. They took care of us financially. And my mom did the best that she could, and I appreciate everything that she did. But yeah, living in a household where money was rare to come by, And especially at the time when I was young, it just seemed like such, I don't know, like money was unattainable. Especially money where it would be secure and stable. And seeing my mom have to work so much and like having to be worried about the bills of the house and never having a full sense of security, it definitely affected me like emotionally and mentally. Emotionally in the way that at a young age, I started to learn that emotions don't bring you what you really need. Emotions don't bring you security. It does not bring fulfillment in a way where you have to worry about like how you're gonna survive, how you're gonna pay the bills and stuff like that. And when you are, let's say, I don't know, when I was able to cognitively comprehend everything that was going on, seeing that at a young age, it's traumatizing. Like never knowing what the fuck is going on or where you're gonna get your money. And I wasn't even the one working. I was just the one seeing it. I was perceiving it. And at that point on, I decided that emotions can't bring me anywhere. I took on like my mother's traits and everybody else in my household. I decided that I could only focus on me and my mind. In school, I was a super hard worker, like straight A's. And I played all the sports that I could. I joined all the clubs that I could. I was very social. And I had a lot of friends, and on the outside, on paper, it looked like I was happy and successful. I distinctly remember always being on the lookout for like a potential boyfriend. When you're young, I feel like that's all you can focus on, really. I'm gonna switch colors. I'm gonna dive into this one. Whatever this is, I'm gonna dive into it. I was always looking for love outside of myself. Freshman and sophomore year, I wasn't worried about that, right? But when junior year came around, I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm ready for a relationship. Like the second that I decide that I'm going to do something, it happens. Whether it is me, no. It's because I'm working hard to like make that a reality, right? But the universe also helps. And the second I said that, the second I got a boyfriend. My first boyfriend was a very emotional guy. And that's exactly what I needed. I needed emotional fulfillment. And I love smart people. And he was very intelligent. So I got with him. So I got in a relationship with him. And I was in that relationship for probably 2 years. That was not a healthy relationship. And all right, so keep that in mind. That same theme where my first relationship was emotionally abusive and toxic. And my latest relationship, 4 years later, was emotionally abusive and toxic. Okay, so I know that some people know him, so I'm not trying to disclose some information. But it was not a healthy relationship. There would be times where I would want to leave the relationship and I literally couldn't. I feel like when you are that young, you never want to be, like you don't want to be the cause for anybody else's pain. So I did the best that I could with all that I knew. And if I only knew back then that I was stronger and that I could have left and that he really wouldn't have hurt himself if I did decide to leave, then I would have left. But in the moment, I really thought that some seriously harmful things was going to happen to him or to me if I decided to leave. So I never left. A thing that I told my friend the other day is that your brain does not like it. If you need a sciencey way to understand how you perceive your reality, your brain does not like it when there's conflicting thoughts and there's conflicting habits. Your brain tries to adapt and make everything as comfortable as it can. No one likes feeling uncomfortable, and especially not your brain. So that's why when people tell you you can manifest your desires, if you keep telling yourself, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful. If your heart does not believe that you are beautiful, but your mind does, something will change. So you need to try to make your mind overpower anything else that you're feeling. Keep telling yourself that you're beautiful if you're trying to manifest it. And then eventually your heart will be like, I hate that this is feeling uncomfortable, I'm gonna back down. And then your mind is gonna come in and take over, and then you're able to manifest anything that you want. So, and then you'll eventually start to perceive yourself as beautiful. Even though everybody is beautiful, in that moment, if you look in the mirror and you believe, and your heart feels like, I'm not beautiful, if your mind keeps telling your heart, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, your mind will eventually win out. That is a tip for manifesting. But, ow, okay. So let me just, looks good. Okay. Do you see in how my first relationship and my last relationship, I kept lying to myself. I kept telling myself, no, it's okay. No, you're okay. You're fine. Everything is good. Everything is perfect. Don't even worry about it. Like, everything's changing. At that time, I let my mind win. Your mind is really powerful. Think about placebos. Even if it's not real, like the reality, or, you know, when you take a placebo pill and then you feel the effects, even though that pill was not supposed to give you effects, that by itself gives you proof that you can make your reality anything you want. You can perceive anything that you want. You can feel anything that you want. Your brain is so strong. You can do anything that you want. If somebody tells you you're gonna take this and you're going to feel high, because somebody told you that, your body, when your body starts noticing like, oh, I'm not feeling high, but then your mind is like, but you're supposed to be high. So if your mind tells your body you're supposed to be high, your body will start to align with your mind, and then you will start to feel high. That is proof right there that your mind can do anything that it wants. You can feel anything you want, perceive anything you want, okay? So I lied to myself for too long. And I was so focused on receiving that emotional fulfillment that I never received in my childhood that I was willing to lie to myself to fake it. Like, fake it till you make it. And that is a negative example of manifesting. I say this all the time, but you tell yourself a narrative all the time. You follow a strict story all the time. You retell stories and then you say, this is how it affected me all the time. Some people say, I'm lazy, I'm stupid, I'm not creative, I'm not emotional, I'm too in my head, blah, blah, blah. Whatever definition or label that you give yourself, okay, whatever. And then they believe it. But what if we twist the narrative? What if we change the narrative, change the story, and then you start telling yourself, I am beautiful, I am creative, I am smart, and blah, blah, blah. And take it one step further, and then you ask yourself, why did I ever believe that I wasn't creative? Why did I ever believe that I wasn't smart? And then you start diving deeper and you figure out, I am creative. I'm just scared of putting myself out there. I am smart. I just have too much pride and I don't want to be wrong. And when you start understanding like where these fears come from and why you label yourself in such a way, it's freeing. One of the things that I started telling myself was that I am nothing. And when I say that, not saying in like I'm nothing, I'm trash, but saying it in a way where I have no definition. There is no label. I am who I am, and I can be whoever I want to be. So like the thing that I said in the beginning of the video, where no definition or label can ever truly define who you are, and you're not fixed or set, it is true. This world functions off of free will. Because of that, you are able to become anything that you want to be, despite your circumstances, despite whatever situation that you're put in, despite whatever narrative that you tell yourself. You can change it. Humans have the great ability to change and adapt. You hear this all the time in science books, that we're rational beings. And hold on, I want to change the color, but I'm freaked out. Okay. Yes, we're rational beings. We're the only beings who are able, from what we know, to actually cognitively comprehend things that go on and rationalize and reflect, compared to all the other animals who just live instinctively. But okay, so I was too scared of the change and I never did. I got into another relationship and again was chasing love outside of myself. Again, not realizing what situation what I was in. For my whole life, I feel like I was grappling with this lack of emotions, with this lack of love. And it showed in the relationships I had with other people and the things that I took from other people. Yeah, like 21 years of my life trying to find love everywhere but inside of me. And I feel like this makes so much sense now, but at the time I didn't understand it. I really didn't. I didn't understand that you really need to fill your own cup before you can fill someone else's. And then I finally understood, after getting out of 3 relationships, you finally understand, like, oh, like people really can't give me the emotional fulfillment that I'm looking for. And that's not their fault. It's like, they tried the best that they could, but if I don't even know what I want, if I don't even know what fills my own cup, then how the hell is anybody else gonna do that for me? So after that, I started researching and trying to find out what makes a healthy relationship. And those are still things that I'm understanding and struggling through and going through. But I feel like I understand everything a lot better now. And I'm able to fill my own cup. And when you start to focus on yourself and when you start to reflect, and think about everything that is going on, you break out of these habits. Like, I feel like I broke out of a karmic cycle where I was stuck in this karmic cycle for so long of trying to find love everywhere else but myself. And then getting into situations where they really didn't offer me anything. They didn't offer me love. At the time, I kept excusing it as, you know, I'm not doing this because I want them to give me the same. Like, I'm doing this because it's out of the kindness of my heart. And that was also one of the things that took me a long time to understand, where everyone has their own version of their best intentions, right? But sometimes you can't stay. Sometimes it's in a way where it's really harmful to you and your mental health. I was at the breaking point where when I was younger, I felt like my body could do everything. It could do anything that I like endured and whatever. And I would consider myself a very like resilient, determined person. And the second that my body started to break down, I was just like, oh no, this is bad. It was so bad. Okay, so me getting off of birth control after like 2 years is something. It does something to your body. And I became a vegan out of nowhere. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story about that. So, it's a funny story, looking back. So, I went to Vietnam. I loved it. Amazing. Great experience. But, you know, Vietnam doesn't hide anything. They're pretty brutal about the way that they, like, you know, they're honest. Not brutal, they're honest. They literally show you how, like, meat is made and processed. And there were, like, skinning snakes on the street. I saw like snake eggs still attached like inside of the belly of a snake after it's been skinned. There were like turtles stacked up against each other. There were bear claws in jars. Bear claws in jars. What else did I see? Chickens being plucked, right? Like eels in a tank. And the one thing that really like broke it for me was hold on. I was eating. Oh my god, it was a beautiful yacht. The view was so great. I also had deja vu there, which I'll also talk about. But I was eating on a boat. And and then I bit into what I thought was an oyster, a fried oyster. Turns out it was a frog. Wait. Did you hear what I just said? It was a frog. It was a frog. I never realized. I never connected the dots. Oh my god, wait. When I was in my latest relationship, I asked the universe to show me a sign. I asked them to show me a frog. When I went to Vietnam and I decided to become a vegan, what made me a vegan? A frog. That symbolism has always been in my life, and I didn't even connect the dots until now. This is detective work. When you start submitting and surrendering to the universe and you accept the signs that they give you, it's literally like your life is a detective movie and you have to look out for the signs and stuff. It's so cool, dude. Wow, that's crazy. It's literally crazy. Yes, I've been to the frog, and then I was just like, I can't believe it. I felt the bones and everything, and I was like, oh no, that's it. And I became a vegan after that. Mid-trip in Vietnam, I became a vegan. I didn't eat meat for so long. And then, you know, eventually after that, I started cheating. And then I became a vegetarian. And then I became a pescatarian. And then I became vegetarian, vegan. And I kept going back and forth. Okay. So I went off birth control, affected my body. I became a vegan, affected my body. I was dealing with this toxic ass relationship. And my body was breaking down, and I've never seen my body do this before, where I never had to worry about it. Like in the beginning of, if you go back to the beginning of my videos, I never had acne or anything. I never had to worry about anything. But now it's like, I could tell that the hormones in my body is shifting, and my body started breaking down, and I started balding. I'm not even kidding. I began balding. And I was going through so much stress. I was putting my body through so much stress. And at that point, it's like, yeah, I can't hide the stress anymore. When you feel stressed internally, it's all in you, and you don't have to show it. And that's pretty much how I lived my whole life, where nobody really knew anything that was going on with me and my problems. I always dealt with it my own way, at my own time, by myself. But when you start balding, yeah, you really can't hide that anymore. You cannot hide that. So At that point, I realized, like, yeah, I'm fucking putting my body through torture. I need to change. I need to do something else. And then I cut off everything with that. I became single for 5 months. And after that, I started meditating a lot more. I started reading a lot more. I started painting. I started drawing. I started making videos. I started writing. And you just learn more about yourself when you cut yourself from the distractions. Another thing that I was dealing with, because of the lack of emotional support that I received as a child and the lack of stability and security I had when I was a child, was I always went back and forth between the ideas of being, or between the identity of being a narcissist and between being a passive, loving person. It seemed like every time that I would put myself out there and be vulnerable and be open, somebody breaks my trust. Somebody breaks my trust, something bad happens, and then it makes me shut off my emotions, and even to myself. And then I become a narcissist. I become overly confident. I become overly expressive. I become like, I wasn't being the nicest. When I am a narcissist, it's so weird, like looking back and you're able to perceive everything and be an observer instead of like whatever. Yeah, I was an asshole. I did not give a shit about people's feelings. I really fucking didn't. And the person that you're seeing right now who's like, I love everybody, I hope you choose love, I hope you choose light, I would never say that. In the past, I never said that. I never gave anybody compliments because it was me and my own ego. Another thing that comes from emotional instability is that your ego really shines and it really like steps forward to make you, not make you do anything, but it controls a lot of the things that is going on. Hold on, I don't know what color I chose. Well, I guess I wouldn't know what color I chose. Let's do it here. Why not? Oh, wait, you can't even see it. Oh, wait. I have no idea what color that is. Okay. Oh, look at this natural ombre that's coming. Bro, that's crazy. It doesn't even look like I'm doing it. It's just doing it. So yes, before I entered, I think from up until 8th grade, I was very closed off and I didn't speak in school. And that's such a weird thing for me to remember, but I didn't speak at all. I did not communicate to anybody. I was closed off. I didn't trust anybody. I didn't bother like creating relationships. And then I remember like in gym class, I didn't have a group to go to. And then that was just like, oh no, I don't like that. That makes me feel lame. That makes me feel weird. So yes, and then at that point I decided friends are good. Let me be friends with people. It's also a weird thing to notice that sometimes you have memories where like somebody says something and they don't know that it's anything, but in the moment it changed me for the rest of my life. I remember in 7th grade, somebody told me like, what is it? Because I didn't talk much. And the one line that I said, I remember I was in science class and I barely spoke ever. And I don't even think people knew what my voice sounded like. But the teacher said something. She asked me a question. I didn't know the answer. And I was just like, oh shit. And I cursed out loud. And when you curse in class, it's like, oh no, what the fuck? But I cursed in class. And then the science teacher's like, huh, what? What'd you say? And she didn't know that it was me. She thought that it was somebody else. Like she was looking around like, what'd you say? And I was just like, I kept quiet. But then all my classmates knew and they were like laughing. And then I remember this one girl, she said, wow, Tina's so cool. And I was just like, I'm cool? I'm fucking cool? So then at that point, I took on like the mean girl role. And because somebody told me I was cool. And when you're young and you're easily impressionable, I think that's the word, somebody called me cool. And I was just like, I'm gonna start being like that. I'm gonna start not talking. I'm just gonna have those good one-liners that makes everybody laugh, and then they're gonna think I'm cool, and that is that. So that's what I did. I don't know if anything that I was saying made up to this point. I'm literally just like talking out of my mind. I'm talking out my ass. So I hope you guys are painting with me too, right? Like, I don't know, why would you guys just be watching this for this long if you guys aren't painting with me? I talk a lot about relationships. I talk a lot about mental, emotional, spiritual health and abundance because I've been there. I've been in the spot where I didn't know what the fuck was going on, you know? And I always say that I'm a student for life. I say that I'm a student and a teacher for life, but I'm not really a teacher ever. I'm a student still. I'm just relaying the stuff that I learned. It's very important to please know yourself before you get into these relationships and you don't recognize the red flags and you don't recognize when they aren't treating you good. And did you hear the whole, like the layers of complexities of everything that happened that led me up to this point? And you are a very dynamic and complex person. If you do not give yourself the time to understand everything that you are before you get into a relationship, it is bound to fail. Unless the other person is willing to change with you, it is bound to fail. Because when you don't know yourself, there's no way in hell you can know another person. Unless you guys are both actively working together to make this relationship work. Relationships are complex. Relationships are dynamic. Everyone might go into it thinking like, oh, it's fun and I just want someone to cuddle with. But you need to ask yourself, do you know how to deal with your feelings? Are you mentally aware? Are you emotionally aware? Physically, spiritually aware? Do you understand everything that you are? Do you understand the root of all of your problems? Those are the biggest questions to ask yourself in any phase of your life. Are you aware? And if the answer is no, getting in a relationship might not be the best idea. There's no structure to the way that I'm painting, by the way, so there is no structure to the way that I talk, just so you guys know. I'm literally just like letting my flow of thoughts speak. Usually I just let the universe channel whatever that they want to channel through me, and then I speak about it. Let me talk about that for a second. So if you guys didn't know, I'm a very spiritual person, and I always trust the messages that come in. And recently I've decided to accept the role, or I told the universe, I have these conversations with the universe out loud, and I tell them that I am ready to accept the mission that I came here for. I went through my whole life trying to deny that I had these feelings, these strong, intense, dynamic feelings, and now I finally let myself be whoever the fuck I want to be and whoever I was meant to be. And I always ask the universe for guidance, and what is it? You don't have to believe in whatever I believe to do the same things, you know? Like, it doesn't matter if the idea is true or not. It doesn't matter if the idea is factual. It matters what the idea does for you. And in me believing in the universe and me believing in everything that I believe in and the experiences that I've had and how it applied to me, I believe that it has made me a better person. It has opened up my heart to understand more people. It has allowed me to reflect and learn how to trust others. Especially when you're able to trust in the universe, you're able to trust, I don't know. It's faith, right? Everyone has their own religion. Everyone has their own way of living. Oh shit, sorry. Oh, the thing I wanted to talk about, thank you for reminding me. I was talking to the universe when I said that. Oh, my legs hurt. I just saw 124. That is my number. So there's two things I need to talk about. I really would like to know if there's anything at this point in this whole like talk that I'm having and you guys are interested in knowing more about it. I know more in depth about everything that I'm saying, and it's just become so fluent in my vocabulary and the way that I talk that sometimes I forget other people don't know what I'm talking about. So it would really, really help if you guys leave comments or DM me if you guys aren't comfortable putting it under YouTube or whatever. Ask me to talk about more topics about whatever. Like, I heard you talk about deja vus, I want to know more about that, and blah blah blah. So yes, just so you guys know. But so with deja vus, I'm gonna bring you guys in the experience with me in the way that I explain it. Okay, so when I had my first deja vu, I was in my mom's nail salon. I was putting something away, and I was cleaning like the tools for a worker, whatever, and I remember I was standing there putting the dishes, Yes, okay. I was putting the tools away, and a worker named Lynn, she came up to me and she said, "Hey Tina, can you blah 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 blah." And when I turned around, I just remembered everything that I was seeing. I remember her talking to me. I remember her trying to hand me something. I remember that I just turned away from the sink and I was looking at her. I remember the angle of the nail salon. I remember the light. I remember the two workers standing there. I remember the two people sitting in the pedicure chairs. And I just remembered the scene. And I was so like, why did I think of flabbergasted? I was so flabbergasted. I was just like, whoa, what the fuck am I looking at? What? And she was like, Tina? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And I didn't even know what the fuck I was supposed to do. I just said it. But I don't know, I guess it ended up fine because there's no repercussions after that. But that was my first deja vu experience ever. I didn't understand what it meant. I just shook it off. And then I remember these other deja vus would happen. Again, never fucking questioned it. I feel like I never looked in depth into it until like now. But So yes, deja vus are when you think that you experienced something before, and especially when you had it in a dream. Usually deja vus always come from a dream. So whenever I don't remember my dreams, I just think to myself, oh, that's just the universe creating new memories for me to experience. And this is a thing that I've been thinking about recently, where I thought that I'm gonna try to explain this the best way that I can, the way that it's coming in, okay? Me right now in this present moment is the future for my past. That makes sense, right? So even right now, even though I'm right here cognitively understanding everything that is going on, perceiving everything that is going on, this is my present. I am my past future. I hope this is digestible. Hold on. You ever thought about parallel universes, right? This is something, I have to put this down to talk. Okay. If you think about parallel universes and you actually look it up and explain it, and read about it in the way that a scientist tries to explain it, parallel universes are like if you're on a road and then you see a car go past you and you're moving forward. So one timeline is going forward, but in your perception, the other car is going backwards. But if you go into their perspective, they're going forward, and them looking at you in the car, you're going backwards. Do you know what I mean? The past is paralleled to the future, and the future is paralleled to the past, and they affect each other. Okay? Yesterday, I got a little funky. I wasn't sober. And I was doing the dishes. Usually when I get not sober, it feels like my third eye opens, and it's just an insane experience. So I was doing the dishes and I looked at my nails, and every time I looked at my nails, I was like caught off guard because my nails are green. I never, ever paint my nails green, especially lime neon green, because I think that it just doesn't look attractive on my nails. So I never do it. And I haven't done bright neon colors since I was a child, probably 5th grade. And so when I looked at it, I was like, why would I do that? I never do that, ever. Why would I do that? So that was me in the present moment, which is the future of my past. And I was thinking about the memory when I decided to pick out the color green. I didn't pick it. I was just randomly shuffling through the box of nail colors that I have, and I picked it out. I didn't even question it. Put it on my nails. Didn't even question it. Let it dry. Didn't even question it. Even through the 5 layers of this polish, never once was frustrated with the color. Never once thought, I don't usually like green, but let me do it. In the moment, I was like, cool, I like green. And I put it on. My past's future, which is my present self, was like, I would never do green. I don't even like green. Why the hell did I do this? But my past was like, no, it looks cool. It looks good. Your past affects your future, and your future affects your past. When you are in your present self and you are remembering memories and you're remembering the past, that is the parallel universe. Okay, so I texted somebody the explanation that I was trying to explain to you. Okay, so I said, yo, I am tripping. Me from the future is me from the past, but it's like a parallel universe. Oh my fuck. Your future is a parallel universe of the past. Your past is a parallel of the future. The way to ascend is to find the balance and be completely in the present. Most people are distracted with everything else but themselves, that they get stuck in one or the other, meaning one reality or the other. In the 5D, which is what we're ascending to, which I know are big terms, but the 5D is just a different plane of existence. And you know how there's 1D, 2D, 3D? We exist in the 3D right now. But when you ascend, there are more dimensions, layers to the realities that you can perceive, okay? So in this 3D, it's tangible, it's material, it's something that we can see. 4D, 5D, I don't want to say it's not, it's just different. Okay, so I said in the 5D, there is no duality anymore. It's just like it just is. So in this 3D, people like to categorize things as good or bad. So let's talk about feelings. Feelings, you have happy, you have mad. Happy would be considered good. did I say mad? Mad would be considered bad. But no matter what label or definition or identity that you give or attach to a certain feeling, they're just feelings. So in the 5D, there is no duality. There is just the feeling, and that is it. And there's no comparison. It just is, okay? I said that your subconscious is the future reality and your conscience is the present reality or the alternate universe. I don't know if you, okay, let me talk about that a little bit. I know that I just bombed like a big ass idea for you guys. Okay. I think that you're right now in this present moment, your dreams and your imagination is the thoughts of your future self. So it all connects. So when I say that your higher self, your higher self could also be perceived as your future self. And when you open the channel to your intuition, to spirituality, when you trust in the universe and everything that's happening, the channel to the future, to your higher self is more aligned. And these flow of thoughts and these visions that you have or whatever, you can hear them more clearly. You can understand them more clearly. So let me tell you a story. I decided to get Tinder again after some time. And the day that I was on Tinder, when I woke up, the first thought in my head was of this guy, I don't know, let me see, Jacob, okay? Jacob. So I thought of Jacob and I was just like, weird, why did I think of Jacob? Jacob is somebody that I found on social media, I don't know, when I was like a sophomore in high school. I am a sophomore in college now. Oh no, I'm not. Oh my God. I'm a junior in college now. And I haven't seen him in 4 years? And he somehow popped in my head. So I was just like, weird. Don't know why I thought of him, but okay. So I went on Tinder. I was doing my thing. I was swiping. Guess who I saw on Tinder? Guess. Jacob. I saw Jacob on Tinder and I was like, what the fuck? So I swiped on him and I was texting him like, whatever, we were talking about, blah, blah, blah. And I FaceTimed him and I told him like, dude, it's so weird. Like, do you even remember me? And he said, no. And I was just like, what the fuck? So I was like, I'm not crazy. I know him. So then I told him like, I know that I know you because I know your ex and we still follow each other. And he was like, yo, what the hell? And I told him about the conversations we had. He didn't even remember. And I was just like, wow, that's really fucking crazy. So first of all, my ego felt like a lame-o because I was just like, wow, I know him, but he doesn't know me. Dang, I'm not memorable. Anyways, when a thought pops in your head like that, especially, so in that instance when I thought of Jacob and I thought that it was completely random, it ended up not being random. It was not a coincidence. It was literally my future self thinking, my future self was probably thinking about him. And then when, I don't know, I guess the channel, it got sent down through the channel of consciousness, the stream of consciousness. Sorry. Usually when I speak, there's so many visions that pop in my head and the things that I'm seeing. So that's why I look everywhere else. But so yes, I literally imagine like a light and then me connecting to my higher self or me in the future. I'm very interested in consciousness and different realities and stuff like that. But that is that. That is me. That is what I'm talking about. Whoa, I didn't even finish my thought about deja vus. Oh my fucking God. Deja vus. Oh, okay. No, okay, everything made sense. So, the reason why I transitioned into that future, past, present stuff is because when you have deja vus, you're aligning with the future and you're aligning with your higher self. When you have deja vus, it is just the universe confirming to you that, hey, you are in the reality that you manifested. Or that's the way that I take it. Or no, I think that's the way that it is. Yeah, okay, that's the way that it is. The universe is letting you know, like, hey, whatever reality that you have been manifesting, whatever narrative that you keep telling yourself, it's here and it's real. And it's in this physical, tangible, material, 3D world, okay? So I get that as a reminder from the universe that because the universe runs off outside of this 3D, where the 3D has duality, has good or bad. The universe doesn't understand good or bad. The universe just knows what it is. So when you have deja vus and you're aligning with the future, that is the universe telling you, you're here, and whatever reality that you made for yourself, whatever thoughts you kept telling yourself, whatever mantras that you had for yourself, whatever, I don't know, feelings that you kept paying attention to, the people that you kept pay attention to, the energies that you attract, it is here and this is your reality. And then at that point, I take it as a checkpoint for me to decide, is this the reality that I want? And what things can I change? And that's something that I do a lot. So what was my most recent deja vu? So whenever I'm not sober, I have deja vus, right? Because I would consider myself a pretty emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically balanced, aligned person. Now I am. So when I'm not sober, it's pretty easy for me to, unveil the truth or align myself with my higher self and my future. Sorry, yes, I had to make sure that I said all the terms. Okay. Yeah, I get deja vus a lot. And I always check myself. I always ask myself, like, is this the reality that I want? Am I unhappy? What else am I trying to manifest? And then I fix it from there. And the whole thing about you and your reality, again, tying back to the narratives that you tell yourself. If you tell yourself you're not creative, then that is the reality that you created yourself and you're not creative. And creativity aligns with emotions and your heart. Your mind telling your heart that you are not creative will close the channel from your heart to not allow any creative or emotional expression. Again, your body does not like it when things are not aligned. Your body does not like it when there's any discomfort when there's any discomfort. So if your mind is telling you one thing and your heart is feeling one thing, most of the times your mind wins. Most of the time, your mind takes control of whatever else is happening in your body. And use that to your advantage. If your mind says one thing and your heart feels another thing, make your mind overpower your heart and it will win all the time. Use that to your advantage to make something positive. Okay, let me talk about my relationship with science. Okay, I've had a very difficult relationship with science. There is literally nothing wrong with science, okay? But I'm very analytical. Not even just because I'm a fucking Virgo. If you guys didn't know, I'm a Virgo. I am a Virgo sun and rising. Why did I bring up my astrology sign? Oh, science. Okay, so yes, I relied on science heavy. And I was like a strong atheist. Again, you can watch my spiritual video. I'm not going to go explain in depth in that. But yes, science explains a lot of the things that goes on into this 3D tangible material world. But for people to only believe that science is the only thing that could be correct, I think that is limiting to your consciousness and your understanding of the world and just all that good stuff. Oh, I think that might be a good ombre, honestly. Hold on, it looks kind of rough for you guys. Give me a second. Okay, that was what I had to say in science. I want to talk about my dreams. Yes, I'm literally just shitting whatever, like all that I am. And then, again, hopefully you guys can pick out the topics that you guys actually want to talk about, and then I'll explain it more in depth. But I've always had crazy dreams. I've always experienced things in the paranormal, whatever. More recently, when I started meditating, I started seeing these visions. So the dreams that you would have in your subconscious, I'm actually conscious of it. And I think that is just beautiful. So yes, I have a lot of lucid dreams. I have a lot of vivid dreams. I have a wild imagination. I think because, I don't know, just because. I could go forever and ever about my dreams. And I think that's a different topic, or a different topic for a different time. Yes, crazy dreams, crazy experiences, vivid, crazy experiences. And usually they are stories that align with my physical 3D world. And they're literally insane. I'm gonna tell you about a dream that I had just because I was thinking about the other day, and I guess I'm supposed to bring it up. But in that dream, I remember a staircase. And it was a white staircase that looped around. I was in this tall building, and it was very, like, the room was very small, but it was so tall. And the walls were cream. The staircase was white. It looped around. There was people in a line just standing, waiting. So I eventually got past everybody. I looked at the door. And when people would walk up to it, the frame of the door would change. and it would change into different scenery. So at one point, this guy walked up, and I saw that the door completely morphed into like, I don't know, I'm thinking of Harry Potter, but I've never watched Harry Potter, I guess. I don't know. But it changed until there was like plants, and like I saw a waterfall, and there's different trees in the background, and then the person just walked through. And when they walked through, and then the door would change when the next person would step up. So the next person stepped up, and it changed into blue. The door frame was blue, and then you saw the ocean. It was deep ocean, dark. And he was like, oh my God, I have to be a whale. And like the person standing at the door was just like, that's just what it is. And he was just like, fine, whatever. And he went through. I was like, what is going on? And then I woke up. So that was that part of the dream. A different part of the dream that I had was when I was in this, if you've ever been to the Philadelphia Museum and you've been to the top floor, there was like tan ceramic marble stairs. That's what I'm envisioning. And the ledge is high, and there's different rooms that lead to different places, whatever, it doesn't matter. I remember I was talking to a really wise old man, and he told me that I think he basically told me I can ask him any question that I want. And then I wasted my opportunity, let me tell you that. And I literally asked him, so what does the Android scene look like? Like, what happens? And he was like, Android, like the phones? And I said, yeah, like, I don't know, any new updates, any cool updates? What happens with the megapixels? What happens with Snapdragon? What happens? Literally, I was asking him all these nerdy ass questions, and he was like, it's fine. Like, it's good. I don't know. It progresses. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I woke up. I wasted my one chance to ask a deeply philosophical question, man. So those are some of the dreams that I've had. Let me tell you about another dream that I had. Okay. This is a cool story that I love telling everybody. The first, like, what is it? Whatever. This is just a cool dream I like telling everybody. In my sophomore year, I kept having this dream with a girl. And I didn't know who the girl was. She was just there. I was like, okay, she's cool. Why not? And she would just be in the background. She wouldn't bother me. I'm like, okay, whatever. As the year progresses, I'm very interested in who this girl is because she keeps showing up. So every time in my dreams, I would try to chase her and be like, oh, who are you? Let me know. Like, what is going on? Blah, 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 blah. And she would just keep running away from me. She wouldn't want to talk to me. But I'm like, okay, so why the hell are you in my dreams if you're not trying to talk to me? Like, they're in my dreams, so why the hell are you in here? Okay, the last dream that I ever had with her, I was in a hotel. And in this hotel, I was asking my aunt what floor she lived in because I didn't know what floor she lived in, whatever. And every time I pressed a button, it wouldn't go to the floor that I wanted it to. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I ended up going to the floor. She was having a major house party. And I saw this girl. So I was just like, what the fuck? Let me know who you are right now. I was like, you're a guest in my house and I don't even know who you are. So I chased her around the apartment. And then my aunt, for some reason, had this weird aquarium. Like, I don't know. It was dark. So it was a big steel metal door. It was like the typical, like, SpongeBob. What is it in the front of his house? You know, the one with the big metal wheel? You know that one? So she walked through that door and I walked in. The door closed behind me. I was like, okay, whatever. If you guys can't tell, I have a lot of paranormal experiences, so I didn't give a fuck. Like, I wasn't scared. So I was chasing her around. And then I turned a corner, which I know that she turned around, and it was just the ocean or like an aquatic tank. And I was looking at it. I was looking around. I was like, where the hell did she go? This is where the part, it gets a little weird. I usually don't tell people this part. The girl ended up being inside of the tank. But she was like a mermaid. She morphed into a mermaid. And it was very freaky, the way that she smiled at me. And then she swam away. And I was just like, okay. And I woke up. That was a dream. The girl, which I should have told her you guys earlier, but she was wearing a Victorian style dress, or I hope that's 1800s. That's just a number that pops in my head. Who knows? But her dress had puffy shoulders, and it was like plaid. It was red. She had a bow in her hair, brown curly hair, and she was holding a teddy bear. And that was always the way she appeared in my dreams. Okay, whatever. One night, I'm chilling in my room, and I hear my sister like screaming from upstairs. I live in the basement, by the way. She was screaming upstairs, and she said, "Yo, Tina?" I said, "Yes." And she was like, "Can you walk me downstairs?" I was like, "What the fuck, you stupid bitch? Walk downstairs. What's wrong with you?" I was very mean back then, okay? So I just said whatever the fuck I wanted to say. And she was like, "Okay." And all I hear is like she's running downstairs. So I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't even question about it. Didn't even think about it. So next morning I asked her about it. I'm like, "Hey, what happened yesterday?" I definitely didn't apologize, but for this video, I'm gonna say I apologize for calling her that. I didn't. So I didn't. Anyway, so I asked her about it, and she said she was upstairs. She was also not sober, and she told me that she was turning off all the lights, and then she found a knife under the couch. And she told me she took a Snapchat picture, and then she was talking to somebody. Okay? She's talking to somebody. And she was just like, "This knife isn't supposed to be here. Let's put it away." And the girl was like, "Yeah, let's put it away." So my sister hands the knife off to somebody, and the person puts it away. My sister then tries to go downstairs, and she was stopped. And I said, "Stopped by what?" She said that she saw a man it was a guy in the army, which I didn't know until I asked her about details like I don't know, like a month ago. And she was like, "Yeah, it was a guy in the army, and he was on his knees, and he like had his hand up like this to stop Shayla from moving forward." And she said that he didn't look scary, but there was a girl behind him. And then I was like, "What girl?" And she said, "I don't know. She had a teddy bear." And I was like, "Stop fucking playing with me." She said, "No, I'm serious. She had a teddy bear." And I was like, No, she didn't." Like me trying to deny her perception. I'm gaslighting her at this point. By the way, which is also a relationship toxic red flag that you should notice. Anyways, gaslighting her when you deny someone else's perception or reality. Okay, so I was like, "No, you didn't." She was like, what do you mean? Of course, what the fuck? Why are you gonna tell me? Very valid response. And so I was just like, whoa, that's strange. That is freaky. This is the girl I've been seeing in my dreams forever. And then she actually manifested in real life to Shayla. Crazy. Let me go more in depth about why I'm so used to saying all this paranormal stuff. Okay. I had this repeating dream where I ended up in a desert. I ended up in a desert, and monkeys came by with a stretcher. There were 4 monkeys that were holding the stretcher, and they were like telling me to get on. So I was just like, okay, I guess. So I laid down on the stretcher, not even questioning it, and they carried me in the middle of the desert. And then there was a big tube. There was a big glass tube. And I asked them, "What is it for?" They told me, "Oh, we're gonna put children in the tube." I was like, "I'm sorry? What?" And they said, "Yeah, we're gonna put children on the tube." And I was like, no. And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get them from over there." So then they looked at a house, and when I saw the house, I like got rushed there. I popped up in the house, and I was telling the parents like, "Hey, monkeys are trying to steal your children." And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like a typical response. But in my head, I was like, "Monkeys are trying to put your children in a glass tube, and you're being bad parents because you're not understanding what the fuck I'm saying." And they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Again, normal human response. So I was just like, "Fuck you guys suck." And I took the children, and I was trying to hide them in rooms so then the monkeys couldn't find them. Sorry, I have to keep painting or else it's gonna freaking get hard. Every time that I try to hide the children, the monkeys came and found the children. And I was like, fuck, I failed again. So this dream happened again, I failed again. Then this dream happened a 3rd time, and I was like, fuck this, I'm not failing. So I hid all the children, and then I looked at this, I saw the bathroom. When I was passing by the bathroom, I saw a white sink, a small white sink, and I was just like, that's me. That's where I'm hiding. I put all the children away, and I go through the sink. Like I hide in the sink, some Narnia type shit. When I crawl out of the sink, I ended up in my basement. And when I was in the basement, other beings followed me through the sink. And we were all having a good time. Like, we're having a party in my basement. There was so much food. We're just celebrating. We're eating. And I woke up. I didn't feel anything bad from those beings, by the way. It was just a good time. It was a good party. So then I woke up, and I was like, weird. I don't even have a sink in my basement, but okay. So, whatever, fast forward. I'm in my first relationship. I barely sleep at home because they're renovating my basement. They start renovating my basement for probably like 2 months, and I ended up basically living at my boyfriend's house. When I come back and see, I was barely home at this point. I was too obsessed with my boyfriend, and I was too obsessed with trying to fix the relationship anyways. So yes, and then when I come back, guess what the fuck is in my basement? A white sink. A white sink, exactly where it was in my dream, where I crawled out of and where we had the party. In conclusion, my basement is a portal for ghosts. And when I found that out, I was like, fuck no, fuck that. I closed the portal. I told the universe, we're not doing that here. I don't want the portal here. We're closing it off. I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And that was that. And that was the part of the thing I wanted to tell you about my dreams and stuff like that. I have a bunch of crazier dreams. I write down every single one of my dreams. I see these visions all the time. I have a bunch of paranormal story goes. Yes. Yes, this is just a quick synopsis. If you guys want the full details, again, put it in the comments. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think I'm done storytelling. That is my podcast. That's the old podcast. Whoa, that just like naturally flowed out of my mouth and I didn't even think about doing a podcast. Huh, okay, sure. It's a podcast. Yeah, why not? Anyways, oh yeah, that'll be good. Oh, okay. The way I'm not scared about any of this stuff is because I trust the universe and whatever happens, happens. But I tell the universe, like, was the only beings of love and light can enter my work field. And when I say that, then it will be. And that is it. It is as simple as that. Again, relating to your mind is powerful and you're a powerful manifester and whatever you say will happen. If you intentionally put the belief out there. Okay. Anyways. Oh, I talked for so long. Anyways, that's it. Should we see what's going on? Okay, let's see what's going on. All right, that is what I have so far. That was this episode. Yeah, I guess this is gonna be a thing. I guess it's gonna be like a paint with me, a little talk about the universe and spirituality. Again, anything you guys want to know in specific, please let me know. And I will explain it the best way that I can, or whenever I actually settle down and do anything. I was just talking out my ass. Whatever messages came through, I let it go through. Yes, I hope you guys had a fun time. I hope you guys had a fun time painting with me too. And see you guys next time.